looking for ways to be more frugal or cost effective, save some money while still enjoying your crafting? Hi, I'm Jess from JessCrafts.com, and I'm here to help you make the most of your supplies and time. So today I want to share with you 8 ideas I have as somebody who's crafted for 20 years about how you can be more frugal, be a little more money conscious, make sure you're getting the most from what you do spend money on or from your crafting time. The first thing I would say is that you should really focus on creating more than buying. I know some people say, well, buying craft supplies and crafting are two separate hobbies. And this video is absolutely not about shaming anybody for buying craft supplies or judging anybody. It's more just if you are wanting to spend less or you are wanting to get more. So if that's how if you want to have that hobby of collecting craft supplies, that's fine. But in terms of saving, I think it's really important to focus on the act of creating and setting goals for yourself around creating. So, like you bought a new stamp set. Okay, can you use it 10 times? Or can you make 10 cards before you buy a new supply or something like that? So setting little goals for yourself, or just when you have time, some extra time, rather than maybe jumping on Pinterest or Instagram or YouTube to get some inspiration, just go right in and create. Like you have some ideas, you have some supplies, or maybe I've talked about this before, like gathering an idea binder. I mean, obviously I make YouTube videos. I want people to be inspired by them. I want them to be able to get crafty with them, but I don't want it so it's like you're just watching and not actually making anything either. That's not what a lot of people want. So instead of taking that time and watching several videos, just watch one or just look at a few posts and then get right away to creating so that you're not spending that downtime, that, creative time that you have, or that time you have to be creative, being inspired or being inspired to buy instead of actually creating. The other thing is using your supplies efficiently. So what you do have, there are ways to use it more efficiently. I, on my channel, focus on my paper busting templates, which show you how to cut a piece of 6x6, 6x8, 12x12, 8.5 by 11, all kinds of sizes of pattern paper. Exactly, so that there are no pattern paper scraps and you make a number of cards, maybe 2 or 6 cards, depending on like the size of the pattern paper, some variation within that. But then there's no pattern paper scraps. That's really efficient. There's other things you can do to be efficient with your supplies. You can cut the middle out of a cardstock mat. I show that a lot. You can use your scraps instead of foam tape. So just putting like 2 layers of cardstock together and then using that to pop up, or maybe more layers if you want it thicker, and using that to pop up an element instead of buying foam tape. Maybe when you're inking, you don't, instead of like just wiping up the ink, maybe wiping it up onto scrap paper and or onto scrap cardstock and basically kind of creating a new background with it. Instead of cleaning your brushes onto a towel, and instead you want to use them to add a little bit of ink to another piece of cardstock, and then that can become a card or an ink blended background in the future. And I think that the other thing you want to do is ask what you have can make it work, instead of like, if you see a really cool card, instead of thinking, oh, what are all the exact supplies that this crafter used? And again, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I use affiliate links on my channel. I appreciate when people support me and when they choose to purchase products that are linked in the video descriptions. But if you're looking to stay in that frugal space, really focusing on, you see something you like about a card, okay, what in my stash can I use that is similar, that would achieve a similar effect? You see a cool specialty die. Is there a way of doing it without buying the die because it's not in the budget at the moment? And maybe there's a tutorial that will show you how to do it, and it might take more time, but you could choose to be, instead of spending your time instead of your money. And so looking for things of how to make things work, as opposed to like, how can you buy a product to solve that perceived problem. Shopping secondhand. That can save you a lot. You know, Maybe you don't need new craft supplies, so you shouldn't be shopping at all, and that's totally, we could touch on that, but if you are needing some things, do you have some sources that you can, find secondhand supplies at? Maybe you can look on Facebook Marketplace. Maybe you can check out, I have a list of arts and crafts thrift stores. Maybe there's one in your area. So you're like, if you really have a specific product in mind, especially as if a more general product, you could stop at one of those arts and crafts thrift stores first, or you could just kind of like have a running list of like things that would be nice to have and keep an eye out for them at general thrift shops or things like that. Another thing that I think people who are trying to be more frugal or save money with their crafting, they really focus on the amount of free education there is out there. You can learn all kinds of things from YouTube tutorials, from old blog post tutorials like and there are free card making events or crafting events. So I am teaching at the upcoming Card Maker Success Summit that is happening in August of 2024. So if you're watching this around the time it comes out, you might want to check that out. There is an affiliate link in the video description that will allow you to sign up for a free ticket, but it is an affiliate link, which means that if you were to upgrade and make a purchase, that I would earn a commission from that. So I just want to I'm always about being super clear and transparent about that kind of thing. But you can get a lot of value out of the free summit just by watching from August 8th to 11th, 2024. But again, there's so many free things out there. I have free card making classes on my channel. Altenew, I think, offers free card making classes. Lawn Fawn does. So there's a lot of great free education out there. Into my last 2 tips for those who want to be more frugal or save some money while crafting. I think that the next thing I would think about is how I can save money on basics. So this isn't to say to buy the most inexpensive basics, but to know what those basic supplies are and to do things like pay attention to a sale or really establish what is your absolute favorite so that you're not wasting money trying new ones all the time. Because I think that that can happen to crafters where like a new cardstock line or ink line or something like that comes out and we want to try it. Again, I'm not trying to shame anybody or say you can't do that, but if you're trying to focus on saving money, reminding yourself, I already have some colors of ink. I don't necessarily need to try this new one out, or my old cardstock has been working really well for a long time. If there's not any problem with it, then you don't need to go experiment with a new one. You can just focus on what you have, and also when you know what you like and you see that, oh, I'm starting to run low on this, you can start paying attention for a sale instead of waiting until the absolute last moment, oh, I've used it now, I really need to go buy it, and so if it's not on sale I have to pay full price. But maybe you can set a notification that when it goes on sale at an online shop, or if you're like, oh, they're offering free shipping this weekend, I'm running a little low, let me take advantage, something like that. So that's what I mean focusing on and saving on basics, is those stuff that you're going to buy, you know what you want to order, there's no question about it. And to focus on, once you've found something that works, being okay with just sticking with it and not always trying something new, so that you're not using that money on trying those new things when what you have already works. And the last thing is, and this is the least fun one in many ways, is just to take a pause from time to time on spending. I think that that's what many people who are frugal or trying to save money is, they just stop buying stuff for a while. But I think just having those say, hey, I'm really just going to wait 30 days or whatever on any supply. So I can put it in my cart, or I can put it on my wish list. And if I come back to it at the end of the 30 days and then I still want it, maybe then I decide to spend some money or something like that. But just having those pauses, I think, helps to not only keep your stash under control, but helps you to save money because you reduce the amount of impulse buying. So please, if you have any other frugal tips, I think there are many out there, and there's varying degrees. There's certain people who really enjoy frugal tips that others are like, that's a little too fussy for me, or that's not for me, or I don't have thrift stores near me, so that tip doesn't work. But if we all come together and share our best tips, then maybe we can learn from each other. So that you have found one of these tips helpful. And if you like this video, here's another video where you can find more ideas for enjoying your crafty time and supplies. Let me know that you like this video with a share to your crafty community, subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss the next template or tutorial, and check the video description for product links. See you in the next video.